Looking to send a shiver down your spine? Then I have just the supernatural horror movie for you. With me now is director and producer of Shaman, Antonio Negret. Antonio, how are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for having
Oh,
me.
of course, thank you for joining me. Now, to start off, can you give us just a quick little synopsis of Shaman?
Yes, Shaman is a film about a family of missionaries that's trying to convert an indigenous community in Ecuador at the base of this remote volcano. And everything changes when their son is mysteriously possessed by forces older than their religion. So they have to turn to the shaman they drove away, and they have to kind of confront their own faith in order to try and save their son.
Now, I really enjoyed this. I'm not the biggest of horror fans, but I actually was really invested in this one. What drew you to this story?
Thank you. Well, I grew up in Ecuador. So for me, it was a chance to return to my roots and to work with the indigenous community of that region, which was very important to me, and to kind of go back to my love of horror. So it was kind of a perfect combo of something that was fun and scary, but also deeply personal.
Absolutely. Now, you guys actually shot in Ecuador, correct?
We did. Yeah, we shot at the base of the Chimborazo, which is an active volcano in
Wow.
Ecuador. And it was incredible. It was really hard, to be honest, because we were at like 12,000 feet, crazy winds. Like you would lose your breath if you tried to walk too
Oh,
quickly.
wow.
Same time, it was awe-inspiring and beautiful. So it was a really one of a kind adventure.
Oh, I'm sure. And you can just tell the beauty of Ecuador in the film. The volcano is just absolutely gorgeous to see in the background.
Thank you. Yes, they call it the Taita, the indigenous community of that region, and it is a deity in and of itself. So we actually even had to ask permission of the volcano to shoot there
Oh, wow.
because believe it or not, it's usually cloudy, and we got very lucky in that we were able to see it for many weeks.
That's amazing, honestly. But you have an impressive directing repertoire, both in TV and film. What made this project different from the others you've worked on in the past?
Thank you. Well, it really was a chance to kind of go down to something more minimalist, more stripped down, more raw, and to be honest, more twisted and dark. So this was the kind of an opportunity to do something not with a studio, do something under the radar, and kind of do it with, friends and family. And that, my brother Daniel wrote it. My wife Luisa was one of the producers. We went back to Ecuador where we grew up. So it became this escape from kind of the day-to-day project I was doing and became something really special for me.
That's just awesome. Now, in the film, we have this demonic kind of deity called Supai. How much of this story was actually based on real Ecuadorian mythology and folklore?
Well, there is a deity named Supai, and that is real in terms of the Andean kind of mythology. And we purposefully kept the name of the village unclear in the film because we wanted to kind of make it more symbolic of the indigenous community of Ecuador. And so it was a really good mixture of very, very true grounded myths, but then a symbolic kind of set of characters and village itself that could allow us to kind of expand the story.
Now, you have a great cast. Our three main leads are Sarah Canning from The Vampire Diaries, Daniel Gillies from also The Vampire Diaries and the originals, and then we have Jet Klein from WandaVision. What led to them joining this film? What was the casting like?
It was amazing, and they all did such a great job on the film. I mean, I knew Daniel Gillies for several years. We had kind of met, though we'd never worked together. We had met in kind of similar circles while I directed TV, and he was kind of doing TV as well. And we just became friends, and we had a shared love for independent film and for very personal projects. And, he went on to do amazing films like Coming Home in the Dark recently. And so the moment I told him about Shaman, he was immediately on board. And then with him, I started saying, well, who could we find that has great chemistry with you and that could go kind of head to head and create this amazing family dynamic. And he introduced me to Sarah. And as I'd known her work and was a fan, but had never met her. And as soon as I met her, I knew that she was Candace and she was kind of the lead
Hmm.
of this film. And finally, Jet also knew Sarah, so she recommended him, and we did a huge search for many, many kids. And when she threw his name in the mix and I saw his audition, it just blew me away. So it's a very organic way to cast the film.
Well, they were definitely a great cast. They all three did a great job. But alongside those three, you also have the Ecuadorian villagers. Were these villagers local talent, or were they people from out of Ecuador?
They were all local, and it was a really interesting mix. We had some very kind of seasoned Ecuadorian actors like Alejandro Fajardo, who plays the priest, and Mercy Lema, who plays Rosa. But then we also had actors from the indigenous community of Chimborazo that had never acted before. They were artists in their own right, but had never, been in a movie before. And that was amazing as well, because it brought an incredible authenticity to the story.
It really did. It made you feel like you were actually there in Ecuador. I mean, even just shooting in Ecuador adds to that. Now,
Yes.
can you give us a tease of what we can expect from you coming out in the future now that Shaman is coming out?
Well, please come support Shaman August 8th. It's in select theaters and on digital. So if it's in a theater in your city, check it out. If not, check it out at home. But we really appreciate your support. And then in terms of what I have next, yeah, I've just done some episodes of Lincoln Lawyer. So that comes out later this year on Netflix. And then I've got a few films I'm attached to. One I'm hoping to do in Colombia, also a horror film, and then one that's more like a Latin Catch Me If You Can, that's more of a heist kind of fun film. So a little bit of everything, and we'll see what goes next.
Well, we definitely can't wait to see your future endeavors. But like you said, Shaman hits theaters and releases on digital this coming Friday, August 8th. Daniel, thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Of course, thank you.